Hello investors and welcome back to Just Randy Stocks. During this video I wanted to talk about a stock that I've covered previously. It's SNDL or Sundial Growers. It's the only penny stock that I have in my portfolio. Penny stocks are anything under $5. This one's under $1. Does that make it a value play? We'll go through the numbers. We'll look at the price action. We're going to start off by talking about the analysts and some business updates. So stick around. I think you're going to like what I have. So there's three reasons why this analyst believes that Sundial Growers may be the best Canadian cannabis stock to buy, and they summarize the key points straight up front. Sundial has plenty of opportunities available thanks to its stockpile of cash. Management has been strategic in making moves that make the company more investable. And number three, a big merger or acquisition could happen in the near future. Now, let's go to these points so we can go into just a little bit more detail. So the first point was plenty of cash with minimum debt. May 7th, they had a total of 752 or 600 USD dollars. The company had no debt on its balance and had more than enough to pay off the 97 million in total liabilities, both short-term and long-term, that it reported in the books of March 31st. So another important metric to consider is the burn rate, and that's 34.4 million in its day-to-day operational activities. And if they kept burning at that same rate, they could still operate the company with the assumption that there's no investment activities were kept to a minimum. Things were pretty much operating the same as they are now, that they would have more than 5 years to operate, where their competitors had little as maybe a year and a half to operate under the same circumstances. Sundial has diversified its operations, and this Inner Spirit cash and stock deal that was worth 131 million gave them an instant retail presence, which they needed badly to really strengthen their market share in the Canadian space. So this gave them 86 locations. I believe it was more like 100 locations across Canada and 6 provinces, I believe. Includes both franchised and corporate-owned stores. Sundial also invested in edibles and increased their ownership in Valens, which gave them more exposure to cannabis extraction business, which I believe was an R&D or research and development play, so they could come out with the next and best thing. Sundial also has this joint venture that they created with SAF Group, where they initially put 188 million and then increased that to 538 million. It's been one of the biggest moves financially this year. One of the reasons investors have been bullish on the stock, and they know the company has been looking for deals, and its year-to-end results released on March 17th, the company said it was exploring opportunities for its capital and may result in a transaction, including a merger. So lastly, in point number 3, it isn't overly aggressive in spreading itself out too thin. They've doubled down on the Canadian market to make sure they get it right there first. Now, potentially in the future, they could expand to the U.S. market where they could extend their reach, but legislation there, no telling how long that's going to take. And of course, you know, it's still legal in 35 states, but why spend the cost there and be in the red? I believe what they're doing is smart, so good job to them in that area on not overly aggressively spreading themselves out. So another deal that closed for $25 million was the financing with Sunstream, and you can see they're starting to use those investments with this Sunstream Bancorp Incorporated, and you know, this is that joint venture initiative sponsored by Sundial Growers, so they're just really finding creative ways to utilize their capital. Next is the Sundial Growers completed this acquisition. We talked about this with the Spirit Leaf retail cannabis network, but I just wanted to point out here that in the previous article, they put a number out there. I believe it was in the 80 or 86 range, something like that. But here it says retailers with 100 plus stores. I think I even went to the website and they said they were opening up 3 more. So, you know, you put in your zip code in Canada, and you can see if in the area they have a store near you, and then across 6 provinces. So this isn't just one province specific, but across 6 provinces. This is a great reach for the company and could be a big deal. The next thing is the breaking news from yesterday. Sundial Growers was upgraded to sector perform from underperform by ATB Capital. So ATB Capital analyst David upgraded Sundial Growers to perform from underperform with an 80-cent target up from 50 cents where they had it previously. The analysts changed the rating after Sundial announced the closing of the acquisition that we covered a couple of times before, saying that this is a company that is completely different than it was before. So why did ATB Capital Markets upgrade first? Why are they the first ones? Possibly because they're investment banking with Alberta roots, which is where Sundial Growers is located. So let's take a look and see. It was updated here on Yahoo Finance as of today's date. That was the upgrade. This is why you probably seen a little tick in the ticker today and yesterday. With the rest of this news, we really didn't see any action. But when the analysts respond and they upgrade their price targets, which you can see here, the analyst price targets, there's 4 of them. They have a low of 45, a mid-range average of 60, a high of 76, and we're sitting at 86 cents right now. I believe we're going to see some analysts start to change their price targets, and we could see a boost that gets this stock over $1 where I believe it deserves to be. So what does legalization look like? Because this could be a catalyst for the stock. Regardless, Sundial Growers doesn't plan on having any kind of presence right now in the U.S. market, but the news for U.S. legalization could send their stock also through the roof. So we've seen this happen when there were rumors of progress before. It looks like it's frosty reception right now, according to this article, so we'll have to continue to monitor that. So just in case you weren't aware, right now, according to Earnings Whisper, Sundial Growers for the second quarter of June 2021, Thursday, August 12th at 6 p.m., that's when their earnings is going to be released. We could see a run-up in this, just expecting some good news leading up to earnings. Last time we had earnings, we had great news from earnings, and then it went down after earnings. So I would say potentially leading up to earnings, you might want to play the game. You might want to just watch this, sell it off prior to the earnings. That you could risk some additional gains after that. Just depends where your position's at. But I'll let you make that decision. Just know after earnings, they had a good earnings last time. I believe it was good. Stock went down afterwards. So let's take a look at price action. I made 2 zones. One was a green zone, one was a red zone on here by looking at some previous action before. If you have not entered into this stock and you're looking to start a position, I would say you could start a position between 82 cents and 79 cents. That would be the buy range or the green range zone that I would start a position. I believe this red zone that I created here, 90 cents to 87 cents, you're going to start to see some resistance. It could push past that, and that would be a good sign. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did bounce off this range and go back down. So that way it enabled you to buy or start a position between 82 cents and 79 cents. That's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you learned anything from this video or is helpful at all, please give me a thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. And thank you for the growth in the channel. It's been great. I've done about 34 videos. We're almost at 500 subscribers. So at 500 subscribers, I plan on going live. Thank you for sticking to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.